Alright, men, ladies who dress like men, it's time for a story. A story of a man who rose from humble origins, found love and companions, and would climb out of a frozen wasteland and become the first king of a new nation. I am of course talking about Zealot. Jarrett. Or was it Zealot without the A? Old translation patches make things difficult. Now at first, Zealot seems rather unassuming. He shows up alongside Trek and Noah during the rebellion in Ostia, and most players will look at him and go, "Ew, a pre-promote," and probably just keep using Alan and Lance. But Zealot is actually a competent unit for quite some time, as his solid base stats and weapon ranks make him quite potent for a good 10 or so chapters. For those that passed on learning about him due to the pre-promote stigma, or the fact that getting the supports in Fire Emblem 6 is annoying as shit, okay, that last point is fair. The Game Boy Advance games had great writing in their supports, but good lord was getting them obtuse. But, if you're willing, I think you'll find that Zealot has quite a bit more to him than meets the eye. And hey, it's my job to expand upon that, so let's expand upon that. Sometime before the events of the game, Zealot was a mercenary captain in Ilia assigned to fight against a group of Pegasus Knights. Before the fighting began, however, Zealot used the forbidden technique called talking it out like rational adults, and found a peaceful solution to the conflict with the opposing captain, a young woman named Juno. Well, after that, the two hit it off quickly, and sometime later were married with a modest ceremony put together by Juno's sisters, Tate and Shauna. Sometime after their union, Juno gets pregnant and gives birth to their daughter. Yes, their daughter, despite what the wiki may tell you. A girl who has no canon name, so we'll just call her Juno Jr., because that's alliteration and also fun to say. However, Zealot is not around to see Juno Jr. at all, for you see, Ilia is kind of a piece of shit, with no real government and a bunch of ice everywhere all the time. Since there's no way to make money there, Zealot works as a mercenary in distant lands to feed his family. Zealot's attitude towards the system is what's interesting. He's not one of those, curse the world, this is a bullshit life sort of people. Instead, he passively accepts it as part of his life. His underling Noah brings up Ilia's sad state of affairs to him, saying, quote, "Nobles from other nations say that Ilia sells death for a living. They say that we are vultures attracted to blood and decaying meat." To which Zealot bluntly responds, "That doesn't bother me. It's a fact that Ilia couldn't survive without war. We are giving our blood as well to survive." But Zealot does not give his blood without hope. While he does accept the way things are, that doesn't mean he thinks they can't change. When he reunites with Juno, he shows a genuine concern and curiosity over Juno Jr., as he's never even seen her before, and he wants to know what she looks like. He has a family to fight for. As he fights for his family, so too does his family fight for him. Juno Sr. remarks that he should come home and stay home after the war is over. The people have started to cultivate the land, and harvest can come. But Zealot knows harvests are not guaranteed. Should the crops fail, they would completely collapse. Knowing this, he says he will keep fighting, keep selling his blood. But not forever. He will keep fighting until the day crops can bloom in Ilia, and he and his family can live as one. But while he has his family, his men too are important to him. To go back to Noah, their support details how Zealot wants Noah to write a letter to the people that care about him. Perhaps family or a lover, because due to the lifestyle of Ilian knights, there's no guarantee they will meet their loved ones in person. He remarks that their kind is not one that dies peacefully in bed, and Noah should find someone to send letters to. Well, Noah comes to the conclusion that the one he wants to send a letter to is Zealot. However, he does not merely want to send him a normal letter. Noah wants a letter reserved for when he dies, and only when he dies does he want Zealot to read it. Noah remarks that he, as well as the other men who have served under Zealot, owe him gratitude for helping them make it this far in life, to which Zealot can offer no other response than a solemn acceptance. But, in the A support, Noah notices that Zealot is distraught over something. Zealot at first attempts to dissuade the notion, but he does remark that he got a letter, a will, from one of the men who served under him. He asks Noah if he wants to read it, and after a slight pause, he declines. Zealot does not press the issue, and the two ride on together in silence. This is actually a very good bit of subtlety, as it is never brought up directly, but the fact that two of Zealot's men would send their wills to him and not their own families give a clear look into what Zealot's men think of him. He's more than just a captain, he's their family too, and they would follow him anywhere, even to their graves. But life isn't all war and depression. Let's take a breather from all that heavy stuff and get to his supports with Shauna and Trek, which are much more fun in tone. Shauna tries to get to know Zealot better, as the two are now in-laws, and asks him quite personal questions. How did he meet Juno? Who proposed to whom? Who said what when the proposal happened? What would he do for a Klondike bar? You know, personal things that a hyperactive kid would ask. But Zealot plays along, not being able to get her to buck off due to her incredible persistence. Shauna remarks that she's happy Zealot is so kind, and that he is a great match for her sister. Zealot attempts to learn more about his in-law as well, but when he starts asking her questions, she darts away quickly, leaving Zealot having told everything and learned nothing. It's a simple support chain, but it's a cute little family interaction nevertheless. His support with Trek, again, is one that's very simple but also very cute. Trek's aloof nature has him constantly falling asleep on the job, which Zealot constantly chastises him for, giving long-winded lectures and the like. The support ends with Trek having a happy daydream, where Zealot praises him and changes his tune completely, granting him a pass to sleep whenever he wants. A dream that is cut short when Zealot hits him on the head and brings him back to reality. It's a nice breather from his much more serious support with Noah. So, while he's not quite a nonchalant sort of mercenary captain like fan favorites Garrick, Dick, and etc., he's still a fantastic character like them all the same. And his effort is rewarded quite a bit more than those other mercenaries. After many years of selling his blood, his dream is fulfilled. The harvests do bloom in Ilia, and it goes from a nation of vultures to a nation of proud knights, and it was remarked that Zealot went down in history as the first king of this new nation. And with that, we've completed 5 episodes. I'm ecstatic as the response to this series has continued to grow in both scale and positivity. I hope we can continue this trend upward to the point where I can proudly put YouTuber on my resume. Okay, so no, maybe not proudly put it on my resume, but I'd like the option. Next episode, we're not going to be covering a Fire Emblem character, we're going to cover something a little different. For those unaware, there is something really special about April 20th. Oh, ha ha ha, no, it's not that. If you define that as a special day, I have some serious concerns for you. Oh wow, that's just plain laziness. Bingo! It's Fire Emblem's 30th anniversary. And on that special day, I wanted to take a look back and do a sort of how did we get here from Fire Emblem 1 to Fire Emblem 16, covering how the series has handled its characters from then until now. I hope you all can stick around for a more broad analysis. As always, I want to give a huge thank you to all of you who have supported me. This channel is nearing 500 subs, and I honestly cannot express enough how fucking awesome that is. I also want to give a shout out to a friend of mine, who I'll just call Guy to protect his identity, as he's been a huge help with proofreading my scripts and giving feedback on my progress. And with all that being said, until next time.